is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Guardian Radio Today is brought to you by Arts Development, CFAL, Little Caesars, the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources, Ministry of Tourism, Nassau Motor, Original Patties, Prince Masters, the Progressive Liberal Party, Shield Insurance, Thompson Trading, the Work Center, and YKR Fashion Center.
Sometimes the wickedness of this world make people think we smart. But just say, you only act lost when you forget who you are. Listen. People ask, why evil in the world? But evil never come from the divine at all. It's what happened when our soul lose sight. Forget the light that live inside from birthright. Babies born pure, born connected, born whole. But the system teach fear and it fractures the soul. Trauma stack up, programming in the mind. And when the heart get foggy, a good man can turn blind. But hear me now, you're not broken. You just forget the truth you already spoken. Oh, yeah, evil ain't proof we not divine. It's proof of what happens when we forget.
And welcome to another edition of Guardian Radio Today with your host, Dr. Cleveland W. Eneas III, also known as Kahun Anku Sarah. It is a Friday in the city. Happy to be here with you. I'll be with you until the 4 o'clock hour. And it's been a long week and it's a lot going on. And we got a lot to talk about. But before I open up the phone lines, I want to just give the phone lines out. I'm not opening them up just yet. You can text, but the phone lines today, as always, is 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, and the Family of Violence, 242-300-5720. Of course, the Guardian Radio text line is barred by BTC. That's 422-4796. Of course, standard text rates do apply. We're streaming live today, as always, on GuardianTalkRadio.com. And you can also check us out at Cable Bahamas Channel 969 or BTC Flow Channel 612. So the question today is, are women saying I do to marital rape? Let me say it again. Are women saying I do to marital rape? It's a very important question. It's something that's been bantered about for a while. It really wasn't addressed during this administration in any substantive way, to my recollection anyway. But I want to talk about it because I think it's important. We have quite a few women who are running in this election, and I think it's going to be something that is going to be dealt with one way or the other after the election. And so I want to put some things out there for us to discuss, right? So where do we begin? I want us to begin with the origins of the legal exemption, this idea of the marital exemption, right? This marital rape exemption was the legal doctrine that a husband could not be charged with raping his wife. It was not a crime, as the wife was seen as having given, quote unquote, irrevocable consent to sex upon marriage, a quote unquote contract she could not retract. This, of course, is the argument that a lot of people, especially men, have today with regards to this idea of, I guess, making it revocable, making consent revocable. But anyway, some key origin figures, right? Sir Matthew Hale, 1609 to 1676. In his 1736 treatise, Historia plactorum, the husband cannot be guilty of raping his lawful wife. This Hale's rule had no legal basis, but became the foundation for the exemption across the English-speaking world. The doctrine of coverture. This legal principle stated that a married woman's legal existence was subsumed into that of her husband, and as she had no independent legal standing, she could not legally refuse her husband. And so this is kind of the foundation that those who don't think they can, rape their wives, they stand on this foundation. And so there's been a long road to criminalization. All right, there's been a journey to abolish the marital rape exemption, and it's taken centuries. All right, here's some of the timelines, right? So early exceptions, the Soviet Union, wow, they removed the marital exemption from its rape laws in 1922. The United States, in the 1970s, reform efforts began in the 1970s. Nebraska became the first state to outlaw this marital rape in 1976. Also in the United States, in 1993, North Carolina was the last state to remove the spousal exemption, making it a state. However, many states still treat it as a lesser crime. And then you have global progress. Other Western nations were also slow to act. The UK abolished it in 1991, Germany in 1997, and it remains legal in many countries, including India, with an exception for girls under 15. Wow. So there are people who lean on these legal arguments to advance their, how do I want to phrase it? To advance the notion that you cannot rape your wife, right? And so we've had this conversation many times on air, on the radio. Sorry, there's a texter asking a question. Let me just, that song is by Daniel Ray. Daniel Ray. All right, you can check out Daniel Ray songs. I'll give you the exact name of it when I get a chance, but that's the name of the artist. Where's this thinking coming from? Where's this whole idea of you can't rape your wife come from, right? We could touch the Bible, sure, we can get to that, right? But I want to look at the work of one of our great ancestors by the name of Cheikh Anta Diop. It's very important that we do this. All right, Cheikh Anta Diop was a Senegalese historian, anthropologist, physicist, and politician who studied the human race's origins and pre-colonial African culture. Diop's work is considered foundational to the theory of Afrocentricity. Biting my mouth up today. Afrocentricity, though he himself never described himself as an Afrocentrist. All right, so he's one of the Babas in the Holy Coptic Church, and he inscribed, all right, proved and taught in cultural unity of Black Africa, domains of matriarchy and patriarchy in classical antiquity and civilization or barbarism. So this really is a discussion about matriarchy and patriarchy in a big way, right? So what Baba Cheikh Anta Diop explains to all who are seeking a way of life that allows for them to understand our origins, to understand who we are as a people, as we say, those who are seeking true faith, as well as those who've embraced it, is that in order to properly understand how melanated, matriarchal, and melanin recessive patriarchal societies formed environmental conditions must also be looked at in determining how certain societies evolved. So how did this thinking evolve? They came out of societies that exist. This idea that a man can rape his wife exists in this society because we allow it, all right? And after all of his intelligent, spiritual, careful, and well-documented examination, right, our Coptic saint and Baba, Sheikh Anta Diop, gave all of humanity, especially those of the global Nubian Melanite family, a literary and scientific blessing that is the true cradle system of cultural origins. This is coming out of a parchment or a book called Genesis, The Rise of the Divine Feminine, written by Rev. Dr. A.J. Varma, right? So Sheikh Anta Diop, all right, Baba Sheikh Anta Diop, he gave us a gem, a scientific blessing, right? He taught us about the two cradle system of cultural origins. Now, the two cradle system of cultural origins versus uncivilized origins is such that it accounts for how humanity came to be divided into matriarchies and patriarchies. All right? According to the two cradle system of cultural origins, the first cradle system was that which was found in Tamarian or ancient African, North American, South American, Caribbean, and Indus River Valley equatorial southern sun cradles, which, because of the natural and abundant weather and soil richness of these tropical regions, allowed for agricultural cultures to develop in which the divine feminine, right, this divine feminine figure, she reached a state of importance because of her crucial role in cultivation and agriculture. So we could grow food, and women were very key in doing that. So she had a very important role in the community, right? The males within these matriarchal societies, as children of nature, left their parents and moved in with their wives, tribe, clan, family as a protector. So in the book of Genesis chapter 2, verse 24, it says, therefore shall a male leave his mother and father and cleave unto his wife, right? The females were the tribal leaders, and through them and their mitochondrial DNA, their fathers, brothers, husbands, and sons became tribal rulers. So one was a tribal leader, the other a tribal ruler, not one dominating over the other, both having specific roles and leading in the way that allowed for the family or the clan or the tribe or the community to function, right? Not male over woman, male over woman, or woman over male, or male over female, or female over male, right? But working together as tribal rulers and tribal leaders, right? These matriarchal societies were extremely stable societies whose focus was based on maintaining harmony within their respective groups, an intimate relationship with nature, importance of communal bonds, the importance of the divine feminine within the family structure, and in collective relationships, including the fact that the primary divinities were usually female at first, and then evolved towards incorporating a male element, consort, or attribute. And that's because at one point there were no males on this planet. This was a female planet. Now, within the matriarchal societies, the first mathematical time that were utilized were first based off of the estrous cycle and then eventually the menstrual cycle. The initial timekeeping systems were partly based on the female estrous and menstrual cycles, which were more regular than it is in this latter day because of the difference in diet and the relative absence of artificial lighting. And because of the surplus of food, a certain amount of occupational specialization was possible, all of which held precedence over more aggressive competitors such as military pursuits. So they understood that the cycle would come. Now today we're going to say 28, 29 days or however, the cycle comes, right? But this is how they began to mathematically or create systems of mathematics in the societies. Women were given birth to math, right? Then you had this second cradle system, right, which evolved and was and is obviously different. And this was the Nordic ice cradle, or the Indo-Aryan and Caucasian Anglo-Eurasia. The second cradle system developed due to the harsh, wintry climate and the critically short supply of food reserves. As a result, hunting, gathering, and warfare amongst these people took priority over agriculture. Roving bands, first called Canaanites, which were composed of 3 sets of 12 invading dynasties, led by the Nordic Sidonians, called Vikings, or the Six Kings. They literally had to invade fight, pillage, and enslave other tribes as a survival tactic. Among these Indo-Aryan and European dynasties, hyper-masculine attributes were desired, while the females were looked upon as little more than baggage, fit only to bear children, preferably male children. So in contrast to the matriarchal societies, it was the females who married into the male's family and left her tribe, clan, or family. So in today's world, we sing, "Here Comes the Bride." Who gives this woman? Giving this woman away. It's not what scripture says, but that's what we do, right? But she took his name, right? Lineage was traced along the male line, and he literally held the power of life and death over her in a system which promoted dominion over nature. Their gods or goddesses were also malevolent, warlike, often lonely figures that either had no consort or had one who was clearly subordinate to them, and they tolerated no difference of any kind whereby statements such as, "I am a jealous God," comes about. This false notion was and continues to be supported by the Indo-Aryan, the Greco-Roman, the Canaanite Babylonians, whereby the region of present-day Iraq, Palestine, Iran, etc., in that region, was where these two cradles came in direct contact with each other. It was where, or here, in the so-called biblical Holy Lands, that these two cradles not only came in direct contact with one another, but was also where the subjugation of the patriarchy over the older matriarchal cultures took place. Eventually, out of Indo-Aryan, Greek, and Roman systems was birthed the Jebusite Jewish, Alexandrian Greek Orthodox, Constantinian Roman Catholic, King James Anglican, and Pale Arab Emirate Mohammedan beliefs, which held and do still hold an immense amount of power and influence globally. And though on the surface they have made some concessions towards females, especially the Nubian Melaninite or so-called black female, asserting their femininity, they actually work constantly to suppress and continually prevent the rise of the divine feminine and her divine masculine child through the globally codified domination of women. So, this two-cradle system gives rise to a thought process that says, that a man can't rape his wife, right? Sadly enough, because we've even been educated as a people to actually even know that there is something as a matriarchal society, and I mean in a meaningful way. People, right? When they say you're getting married, right? You're getting married under patriarchal codices, laws, legalities, which says that a man owns you, right? He gives you his name, so he owns you. That's literally something that comes out of slavery, right? And so, in one breath, yes, we argue that, well, we want something done about this. We got to put something on the books, right? And on the other hand, we're holding up the very system that allows for it to even exist, which can be confusing, which can be selfish in many ways, because we feel as if we're doing the right thing. But again, with racism, white supremacy, the goal is to keep us confused. The goal is to keep us in a frame of mind whereby we are unable to hash out these realities in any meaningful way, because the end presented to us is usually through the spectacles or the eyes of the Greco-Romans, the Indo-Aryans, the Sino-Orientals, the Pale Arab Emirates, those people who have enslaved us for centuries, all right? But we do have a system that works for us. We do have a system where the woman is not seen as merely submissive. Okay, now let me be clear about when I say woman, right? You have regal ladies, right? You have noble ladies. And then you have woe men. right? You have woe men who have, unfortunately, as we all have, been miseducated and have taken on a Hellenistic view of what is called womanhood, all right? And so you have some women who actually want to just shift places. They want women to rule men, right? And this is the whole feminist movement. I'm not in any way suggesting that we move to a feminist position from the Eurocentric perspective, because from the Eurocentric perspective, this feminism is something that so-called white women established to push back against their men. All right? Black women may have jumped onto it thinking that, yeah, women empowerment. But in truth, your men have never really had the power on a global scale. Yes, at home, that's different. Squatters, yeah, sure, maybe. But globally, as far as policies are concerned, as far as actually, moving the discussion on what this whole idea of feminism is, black men, we didn't have that power. Even today, the men who have power can only gain power if they pretend to be little white men. With all due respect, you got to pretend to be a little Englishman. You got to literally swear to the king, his heirs, and his successors forevermore. For them to even let you pretend like you have power, right? When they say you can't have Cuban doctors, you got to say, well, we got to see what they say, because right. So, in order for you to even look like you have power, you got to dress up like them, talk like them, act like them, and then when they decide, they'll let you have power. I'm not knocking our leaders. It's not just them. So I'm not beating up on the leaders, right? But the thought process, the pattern of why we think the way we do is really what I want to address today. All right, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, the Family of Violence, 242-300-5720. The text line is open, 422-4796. We're going to run to a break here on Guardian Radio today, but the question again is, are women today saying I do to marital rape? My name again is Pastor Dr. Cleveland W. Williams III, also known as Kahun Anku Sarah. Back after this. Keep it locked.
Love rise up, a miracle start again when we remember, just again, when you forget your power, you fight for scraps. When you forget.
Great vehicle performance begins with an exceptional oil. Choosing the right motor oil for your Honda may seem confusing, so here's one simple rule to follow. Look for the oil with the Honda name. Using Honda Genuine Ultimate Full Synthetic Motor Oil in your Honda will enhance your car's performance because it is formulated and tested to meet exacting Honda specifications. Available now at Nassau Motor Company on Shirley Street.
Gold, silver, bronze, and Little Caesars, everyone wins. Introducing the new hot and ready 3-in-1 pizza, 3 flavors in one, pepperoni, cheese, and Italian sausage. And winning price, just $11, VAT included. Whether you're celebrating on the track, in the stands, or on the couch, the 3-in-1 makes you the champion. Available now at Oaksfield, Carmichael Road, Pineapple Plaza, Charles Saunders Highway, and Prince Charles. Little Caesars, with the 3-in-1, everyone wins.
Pizza.
We're ready for the road. This Saturday, April 11th, bring your flags, bring your pom-poms. Join the motorcade to the Fire Forward Rally. F&M Headquarters Freeport at 7:30 p.m. Time to treat, time to belt. This restore to Magic City. We're ready to work for you. This is the moment. Show up, stand firm. Vote F&M. That's the motorcade to the Fire Forward Rally. This Saturday, April 11th.
At Shield Insurance, we protect what matters most to you and your family. With over 10 years of trusted service, we offer coverage for your motor, home, marine, construction, business, liability, health, and life needs. Our dedicated team is with you every step of the way, ensuring a smooth, stress-free experience. Don't take a chance. Put it in our hands. For more information, contact us at 356-7202 for our Nassau office and 352-5945 for our Freeport office.
At the heart of every great meal is a simple yet powerful idea: quality. At Del Monte, we are committed to cultivating quality, growing the freshest, most nutritious vegetables, fruits, and tomatoes for your families, and BPA-free packaging. You can trust that every can is packed with goodness. So whether it's a quick snack or a hearty family dinner, Del Monte brings wholesome flavor to your table. Look for it in your favorite food store. Del Monte, fresh taste, smart choices. Distributed by Thompson Trading.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Yeah, evil ain't proof we not divine. It's proof of what happens when we forget. But when we remember the light inside, love rise up, a miracle start again. When we remember, just spirit make we whole again. Oh.
And we're back here on Guardian Radio today with your host, Dr. Cleveland W. Winius III, also known as Kahunan Kusara. That's the sounds of Daniel Ray, When We Remember. I know some people have been asking me on the text line, so it's called When We Remember. I love that song and many of his songs, so you'll hear me playing his songs from time to time on the show. But again, we're asking the question, are women saying I do to marital rape? Now, I asked this question, this is silly season, right? And as we look at the amount of women in the front line of politics today, right? Let's see. As early as 2026, there are 27 women confirmed as candidates across the major political parties for the upcoming 2026 Bahamian general elections. The Progressive Liberal Party has ratified at least 9 women to its slate. Glennis Anna Martin, Ginger Moxie, Lisa DeVoe, Robin Lyons, Dr. Monique Pratt, Renika Knowles, Ronell Umbrister, and JoBeth Colby Davis. Right? The Free National Movement has ratified at least 11 women as early as 2026. Arinthia Komalafe, Dr. Jacqueline Penn Knowles, Denali Penn Maki, and forgive me if I mispronounce your name. Y'all could correct me. Call in and correct me if I mess up a name. Right? Trevania Clark Hall, Heather Hunt, Michaela Barnett Ellis, Heather McDonald, Philippa Kelly, Deborah Moxie Roll, Therese Boodle, and Dr. Charlene Reed. The COI, right, Coalition of Independents, has positioned itself as a woman-led movement and ratified a slate of 41 candidates. And the women, I think there are about 7 of them. Let's see, Maria Doxson, Charlotte Green, Ingram Griffin, Yvette Prince, Faith Presenti, Linda Stubbs, Daphne Johnson. Of course, I know Dr. MacGyver is there, and I know Ms. Bain is there in St. Right? So I think that's at least 9, right? So these are issues I presume, right, will be very germane to what policies that these women are going to want to bring forward, right? That's their job if they win, right? The Sexual Offenses Act specifically excludes spouses from the definition of rape, right? Definition of rape, Section 3 defines rape as sexual intercourse with another person who is not his spouse, right? A person can only be prosecuted for sexual assault by a spouse if the couple is legally separated, divorced, an order is in place. There's a non-molestation order. Wow. All right, even in these limited exception cases, any prosecution requires the formal consent of the Attorney General. All right? Coming to the phone lines right now. This texter says, boy, uncle, nobody calling you today because half don't believe in marital rape and the other half saying, not my good husband. Anyway, we got to call her. Call you live here on Guardian Radio today.
Brother, I'm cool.
How you doing, my brother?
I disagree because I have been holding on for almost 5 minutes.
No, it wasn't 5 minutes.
But I want to back this up.
Go
Your
ahead.
subject matter. What the subject matter is again?
I asked the question: are women saying "I do" to marital rape?
Well, I will support this by the topic you had maybe a few weeks ago, and I'm gonna base this from a biblical point of view.
Sure.
Proverbs 12:4 said, and it reads, "A virtuous woman is a crown to her husband, but she that maketh him ashamed is like rottenness in his bone."
That's Proverbs what?
Proverbs 12:4.
Okay, I'm listening.
I believe that the percentage in this country of virtuous women, I believe, is basically 60 to 70%.
Okay.
60 to 70%. And I believe they disapprove of this spirit that I call it, that is being promoted by the 30% of feminists. Now you will find the answer for the feminist woman in Proverbs 5, who is the strange woman who have an issue with God and the principle of marriage. And if you read Proverbs 5, you will find the answer about her motive. So this is why I am very much disturbed about this group of feminists who now has been ratified, and majority of them are not talking about family. In fact, none of the candidates, you'll find very little of them or few of them talking about the family structure. And we know the nation where the family structure is weak. Do you know the nation is weak? Do you agree with that, right?
I agree with that.
That is not an issue in this country. And this is a concern that you hardly hear the message on the issue about the erosion of the family structure. But I do believe, in my view, we have more than 70% of virtuous women in this country. I could vote for one who often call the show. Her name is Pat, and her husband is my best friend. And there's a lady who just celebrated in Freeport her marriage, and she's excited. 30-something years that she be on the show with Mr. Dwight Strawn. She celebrated this week. I want to say congratulations to her. Marriage, you have to fight for it. You have to. It was never promised, like my mother told me. Her marriage was never promised a bed of roses, but she wanted to respect the covenant of God. My father, he was not a perfect man. He played wrong. He was a good-looking man, but the girls them pursue him. But my mother did not give up because she understand the covenant of what lived with my father for 50 years or more before he demised. But there is a difference between the Proverbs 12 and 4, and also there's a difference between the Proverbs 5. The strange women have issues with God, and this is what being promoted. The question you ask, where is this coming from? The pit of hell and Satan.
So let me ask you this. Don't go yet. So your daddy used to rape your wife, his wife?
But my mother, I wouldn't even raise that issue. No, sir.
So that's really the question at hand.
My daddy had girlfriends.
Well, he could have raped his girlfriend, but he couldn't rape your mommy.
Well, I know he raped them. they just love a good looking. My father was 6 foot.
And I asking that in a facetious way because
my mother no.
No, I asking that in a facetious way just to drive home the point, right? Because when you say there are about 70% of women who are virtuous, you're saying that those 70% women are okay with their husband raping them? That's what you're saying?
Well, I believe that the 70% of virtuous women even pursue this spirit. And I would say, like the Prime Minister said, there are laws enough if I have two daughters. If they are in an abusive relationship, I know enough lawyers who have already explained to me that they can get out by the stroke of a pen.
So okay, I'm glad you said that. So your argument then is that we already have enough laws in place.
Oh yeah.
For if a
we
woman
do.
if a woman is raped in her marriage, we
Yeah,
already
no,
have
if
enough
it's a
laws in
rule-
place
if
for her to prosecute that situation. That's what you're saying.
If there's laws on the book right now, and the Prime Minister stated, and my establishment, me and lawyers who come here every day, who now some are ministers, who come here every day explain that there are laws on the book right now from domestic. You can get out of your marriage by the stroke of a pen, because all you have to do is report it to the police station, and you just say you're having domestic.
But then
And then social
so you could get
service-
out the marriage, but the rape necessarily wouldn't be addressed.
I just don't know where it's coming from. These are people who are not married. This is why I'm very much concerned about this group of feminists who has been ratified and not married.
So let me
but they
ask you
have
this.
children,
Yeah.
but they're not married and they're not talking family. It's a concern.
So which women would you consider feminists? I go down the list. Are you serious?
Say it again now, say it again.
Which women would you consider feminists? If you'd be
Well,
willing
my
to.
tree pick, I would like to see win.
Uh-huh.
And I want to apologize, and who I really believe that Glennis Hannah Martin. I would like to see her win.
You don't think
I love this
she's
lady.
not a
I
feminist?
don't live in her area. I love this lady called Veronica. What's her name?
MacGyver.
MacGyver. I love her, and I love that rural lady down in what's her name down in is it Garden Hills or Golden Gates?
Well, I know there's one in.
I can't remember
There's
her
one
name.
in Exuma, but
Glover. What's her name?
for which party? Which party?
Glover. Well, I don't want to call it party.
Oh, Pierre Glover. Oh yeah. I know Pierre
I
Glover.
love her persona.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love her grace. I love her presentation. She knows who she is. She display all of the qualities.
So
of
you're
a
saying
virtuous
these are
woman.
virtuous women? That's what you calling out now. You calling out the virtuous women?
She
All right.
disclosed that. You can see the persona of a virtuous woman. You can see it.
Yeah,
mean,
I agree.
The grace that she has, like my former first lady cousin, Miss Tidlin. She never leave that. At her age, 94, she still displayed that persona.
Yeah.
Of what a graceful and a virtuous woman display. But today, you're seeing a more this strange, junglist type of women that they shame to be graceful and virtuous.
So all these women who name you ain't called, they potentially junglist and feminists.
Well, I am only saying, this spirit is coming from where I don't know. My mother is 93 and she still lives. She's still alive today.
Amen. Yes.
And
Amen.
I get my strength from her because she now seeing it out of her age. She said when she counseled, he said, "Man, this little thing you want to leave and get out of your marriage for?"
Yeah.
He said, "Man,
Or you saying like cheating? What you saying?
little disagreement then."
I got you. I feel you. I just being clear.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Disagreement.
Yeah.
But I still do believe this country have above 70% of virtuous women who really would like to help. And this is it. If you're going to complain about the man, everything wrong with him, then you should seek help to make him a better man, not to compete with him. My mother never compete with my father. She helped him to be a better man. And that's what I think is the duty of a virtuous woman. Mrs. Finland helped Linden to be this better man, to be this better prime minister, that's why he governed for 25 years.
Right.
She never compete with him.
Right.
So that's what I believe. We got 70% of who have this persona to try and help their husband be this better man rather than competing with him. That's my 5 cents.
Yes, indeed. Thank you so much for your call. So the government has drafted a sexual offenses amendment bill that would remove the words "who is not his spouse." But as of 2025 and early 2026, the administration has indicated it does not expect to pass this legislation before the end of its current term due to a lack of not get on the same page with this thing. So the government ain't know what to do. All right, caller, you live here on Guardian Radio today. Caller going once.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon. Thank you for calling.
Yeah, no problem. I wouldn't put a percentage on any situation there, but what percentage I'm looking at is the percent of female women. Sorry, I think the word, the preferred use of the word women. Women candidates.
Yeah.
In all instances, it's just around 25%, and the voting population in the country is made up fairly even. There may even be more women than men. So I would like to see that number increase. I would not also label the women involved as being rebels or radicals or anything of the sort. As a matter of fact, I think they are all decent women. And in answer to your question, I think the answer is no. It's not yes, because domestic abuse, rape, and all those things is not just a matter for the person, the victim, but also is a matter that the perpetrator and was. So I don't think that will be that's necessarily their platform. Also, all the women.
You don't think the women? You don't think the women in frontline politics are gonna push this?
Security or social services also, they will be in their different spheres of expertise or wherever the prime minister chooses to assign them. And so we work better as a team, collaborating rather than competing with each other. And of course, we need also to work with our men so that we have more men in the schools, men in different forms.
So, are you married?
Are you married? Way ahead of the men.
Are you married, sir?
If I am?
Yeah.
Well, I've been there. I've gone that road before.
So when you were married, did you think it was okay to rape your wife?
It's not. It's never okay. As a matter of fact, I don't want to do the bank lane shuffle.
But they saying you can't rape your wife, so you ain't gonna do no bank lane shuffle. They saying you ain't getting no bank lane shuffle because you can't rape your wife.
The thing about it, you're not supposed to deprive each other. You're not supposed to deny each other and deprive each other.
So just take it.
No, you don't take it. Both it's an obligation and a negotiation. You work together. You cooperate.
Right.
It's a cooperation.
Right.
Yeah. So it's not your point or my point.
Right.
It's not your things or my things. It's our things.
Our things. I
want to comment one more thing that you mentioned about the taking of the names. I know a friend in England, in the UK. She's never been married, but and she is just about 60 or thereabout. And I think she plans to get married. She wants to get married, and also she wants to also keep her name. So I guess I understand, maybe that's the reason why, based on your explanation given.
Your wife took your name?
Out to the man, so to speak. She want to be his property.
Yeah, your wife took your name and you was married? She was okay with it?
I got married in the Bahamas, and that's how we operate.
That's the norm, yeah. She was okay with it. She was okay with it.
I will change my name one of these days, so I can have a hyphenated name like Van der Poel.
Thank you for calling. This texter says, so if a man has a sexually transmitted condition and his wife knows about it, she by this knowledge denies him of sex. She has a right to still. Oh, does he still have a right to take it? I know it's said that's mine when you get the wife, but that's a sensitive matter. That is a sensitive matter. I mean, if he got a sexually transmitted disease and he thinking that you need to get out of that marriage, eh? Because, that ain't making no sense. Especially if he ain't get it from you. You know, that kind of way. Uncle, tell Mr. P, I don't think Miss Martin married, though, and that's a feminist. I don't think MacGyver married. I might be wrong. I think P are married. And Mr. P, are you married? No. Tell him I divorced, though. And they laughing. I had to get in people's business. I do think that it's an issue that the ZNS Bahamas, they're saying that they're reporting, right? This is a report from them, that we have a lack of national consensus on this. You know, like we can't get on the same page. Let's go back to the phone lines here on Guardian Radio Today. Call you live.
Good afternoon, Uncle. How you doing, man?
I'm great, man. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
You trouble in the waters?
Of course.
Yeah, women are saying yes to marital rape through marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some say yes to it through the church, actually not addressing it, society not addressing it, and enforcing the laws. I don't think a woman should have to go complaining to get out of the marriage if her husband is raping her. He needs help, right? So, but you know, Uncle, you would find that some women know that the pastors in their church are womanizers.
Wow.
You know, they have this predatory condition, and they still go to this church.
Yeah.
They still support it, so they're supporting this condition. That's why, in my opinion, now you could. This is just my opinion. Most people talk about the pit of hell as hell being a place, whereas I think hell is a condition.
Yes.
And most of us are suffering from this condition today.
Yeah.
All right? They die and go to a place. But they're actually suffering from this condition that is hell.
Yeah.
All right? You agree with me, eh?
I agree with you.
Oh,
Yes.
well, see, so I think we need to see it as it is. We could pass all the marital rape laws and try to govern people's activities through legislation. But this is a moral issue, man. You know, and you will find that if you have a pastor or a leader who you look up to and he's predatory and you are not trying to get him right, then obviously you're supporting it. I feel as though that these persons who call themselves leaders should be leaders of the world, should be try to be global leaders. But you will find that not one, I don't know about you, but I haven't heard of any pastor actually made a phone call to a president and say, look, man, you really should disappear. You're wrong.
Yeah.
From the word of God that you claim to know so much about, you're wrong. But they're scared they can get their visa revoked. So they are suffering from this condition as well.
Yeah.
There is a condition that's called, with the fellow name, the Antichrist condition. Yeah, see, they don't want to get their visa revoked. So you see, everybody's suffering from some condition. I've suffered from a condition too.
We all
I got bad teeth.
We all do, right?
So that's why I think we need to address it from a condition point of view, because you know this predatory thing is look at Jeffrey Epstein. Come on, man.
Yeah. Well, I know the condition to be Hellenism. That's why they call it hell.
Yeah.
Hellenism.
Yeah. Man, I appreciate you. You're someone that people like me run to, and ain't much Guardian radio host I run to. Thanks for taking my call.
I appreciate it, man. Appreciate your call. This texter says, "Can a wife rape a husband?" I know husbands get beat up now. Some of them just get beat. They don't really, put it out there, but they getting beat. The problem with that, with a wife raping a husband, is if he ain't really in the mood, things, the hose mightn't be, the water mightn't be on. So the hose will be flaccid. You understand what I'm saying? And so it may be hard to rape him like that. But I guess if he want it, or if he's aroused, then possibly. But that's a good question. Call you live here on Guardian Radio Today.
Pleasant. Good afternoon, Dr. Ineas.
Hey, how you doing, Sparky? Good afternoon.
Boy, right here, sometimes I'd be dying and waiting for your show to come on.
Wow.
You and God, Roseburg.
Wow, thank you.
I find some people to be what I call, to me, I've been the talk show from 1994 when they opened up their radio.
Yes, sir.
They used to call me a chronic caller. They used to call me and JT and Pop and honestly, them chronic callers.
I remember.
You got a crew now where it's called addicted callers.
My Lord.
They're addicted. They know everything. I wonder why they don't run for members of the House Assembly. They got the answer to every problem we have. But they will never put themselves forward as candidates.
My Lord.
But anybody put themselves forward as candidate, they got something to fight, they got something to say about them.
My Lord. So, Sparky, do you believe these women...
when it comes to that religion you talk about...
Yeah.
We were afraid to say that we were brainwashed from children for being baptized in churches that we didn't even ask them to belong to that organization. But our parents and grandparents belonged to it, so we just fall in line until we become, they say, when I was a child, I spoke as a child. When I become a man, I put away all childish thought.
Yeah.
When we start thinking on our own, I say, how did Columbus discover the Western world when he went into Mexico, Peru, all around Brazil and all? They met temples and what they call it, pyramids in Mexico, in Peru, in Brazil, all over the Western world. They met pyramids. When they left where they came from up in the north, they met pyramids in Egypt. They met pyramids all in China. Everywhere they went, they met pyramids in Ethiopia. When they gone through the Ethiopian Bible, they found some things, and the Ethiopian Bible was there long before 1602, when King James and his 47 Oxford scholars decided to translate the Catholic Bible into English. They met things from the black Africans, and they brainwashed us to tell us that everything was this white Jesus. I'm going to church on Good Friday as a little boy. I used to get beaten for asking my Sunday school teacher questioned. She, being my teacher in school too, would report that to my mother. My mother would beat me for asking the question. But
Sparky, you had a rough life, man. They's beating you for asking questions?
Yeah.
My Lord.
You remember they had a problem with Jesus when Jesus was 12 years old and he gone in the temple? What did the leaders in the temple ask Joseph and Mary? What manner of child is this? Because he asked them questions that they couldn't answer.
Yeah.
And he was only 12. Remember that?
I remember that.
And then we didn't hear from him till he was 30 years old.
Yeah. So listen, before I run to this break.
The Bible said he was in the wilderness.
Before I run to this break, Sparky, I want to know if you think these women saying I do to marital rape. You think these women really understand what they saying I do too?
Boy, I don't know what they do. See, one thing I noticed lately with black women especially, they follow anything with new on the market. One time ago, everybody was proud to be black and proud of what is the beautiful afro like Angela Davis in America. Now everybody want hair down behind the pants so they do things.
I hear you, my brother.
They take that glue and that weave off their picky hair.
My Lord. They're beautiful picky hair. Thank you for calling, Sparky. Listen, man, we got to run to the break. We got to go to the news. Got to pay some bills. Are women saying I do to marital rape? We're going to have that discussion and more after this break. Again, my name is Dr. Cleveland W. News III, also known as Kahunan Kusara. Back after this.
Love rise up, a miracle start again when we remember. Just spirit make we whole again. Oh. When you forget your power, you fight for scraps. When you forget your word.
This is definitely the time for BAMSI to continue to build on the progress that we've made. There's now drone technology. There's now year-round container farming. You have hydroponics. You have aquaponics. You have precision farming. There have been record numbers of enrollments, record numbers of flat fishing certifications. We've had record enrollments in our online courses. Students from across the family of islands. Because in BAMSI, we are not just cultivating produce. We're cultivating producers.
Paid for by the PLC.
If you think you can't afford to dress to impress or replace those utensils or maybe even upgrade your household appliances, then you don't know Y-Care's Fashion Center. With 3 locations to serve you, Y-Care's Fashion Center features the things you need or want, all at a price that you can afford. Open Monday through Saturday, 8:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. Y-Care's Fashion Center also has the island's largest jean collection. Put the fun back in shopping and visit your favorite Y-Care's location today, where you can afford to look good.
Patties, cakes, breads, and pastries. Nothing compares to the original. Yes, at Original Patties Bakery, try the mouth-watering daily specials. Jerk chicken and pork every day. Chicken and mutton roti weekend specials. Beef, chicken, tuna, and vegetable patties. Escovitch fish, Mondays and Wednesdays. Visit Original Patties, Monday to Saturday, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. at Howard Road, Blue Hill Road location, 6:45 a.m. to 11 p.m. Call 341-1871 or 341-6552. Original Patties Bakery, where quality is always number one. Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM.
Sometimes the wickedness of this world make people think we smart. But just say, You only act lost when you forget who you are. Listen. People ask why evil in the world, but evil never come from the divine at all. It's what happened when our soul lose sight. Forget the light that live inside from birthright. Babies born pure, born connected, born whole. But the system teach fear and it fractures the soul. Trauma stack up, programming in the mind. And when the heart get foggy, a good man can turn blind. But hear me now.
And we're back here on Guardian Radio today with your host, Dr. Cleveland W. Winnie's III, also known as Kahun Anku Sarah. Are women today saying I do to marital rape? That's the question. This texter says wedding vows in sickness and in health. That's all they put. So Dexter, let me just be so once you get married and once you take this vow in sickness and in health, if the husband get this sickness where he want to rape his wife, you gotta ride that out. You gotta ride them vows out. I just asking. If marital rape law is passed in this country, then two things will definitely happen. One, sweethearting will increase by 100%. Well, we just had the sweethearting bill. Sweethearting done high, right? I guess you say it can double then, right? Two, it will be weaponized by vindictive women. Wow, that is a point that many have brought up and could be, because you're already supposed to be in a position where you could have intercourse with this person. So how are you proving that? Right? That's another big question. Coming to the phone lines in just a second. The FNM, right, the Free National Movement, has promised to make marital rape a crime, increase the maternity grant by 50%, and ensure that there are shelters for women and girls escaping gender-based violence if the party wins the upcoming general election. All right, so the Free National Movement, this was in The Guardian, March 30th, 2026, right? So the FNM is saying this is something they're going to deal with. The PLP is saying there's no national consensus, or that's what ZNS reported in any event. And so we're here at this stalemate until, I guess, after this election is done. Let's go to the phone lines and then we go back to the text line.
Hey, Uncle.
Hey, my brother, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Thanks.
My take on this rape issue is that I don't think a man should rape his wife.
Right.
I can't see how a man would rape his wife. You know why?
Why?
All that physical activities and motion and stuff that they got to go through to have the woman to get her lay down and do these things. At the end of the where we get energy, how we get rigidness to do what you got to do.
Right.
It baffles me. But yeah. I really don't believe that is right, and I believe that any man that does that should really get punished for that. Because that's somebody who we vow to cherish and love, and for a time in eternity.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
But there's a question I want to ask, man. So for a little while now, I just got through it. Was Moses a black man?
Definitely. Now,
he was?
Well, here's the difficulty. He, if you're looking at it from the Septuagint, right, the Greek writers, they had a white Moses called Mopsus, right? And he is who the monotheistic Moses is based off of. But there's also an African Moses called Tahutimos. So that's where the confusion comes in. There's a parallel story taking place.
Okay, now, this is my question. This is my question to you, as far as that is concerned. You said most definitely Moses was a black man, okay?
From the African perspective, yes.
Okay, all right, and that's the Moses that I assume that the Bible refers to.
Originally.
Now, if Moses was a black man, why was Miriam, his sister, objected vehemently to Moses marrying that Ethiopian woman?
Right, and that's in Numbers 12, if I'm not mistaken.
I can hang up and listen to you.
No problem. And I probably have to address this next week. But what the claim if we just quickly go there, and then we're going to go to the phone lines because I don't want to get off a topic, right? This idea in Numbers, right, 12, Miriam and Aaron spake against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman whom he had married, for he had married an Ethiopian woman. And they said, hath the Lord indeed spoken only by Moses? Hath he not spoken also? And the Lord heard it. Now the man Moses was very meek above all the men which were upon the face of the earth. And then it goes on in verse 4 to say, and the Lord spake suddenly unto Moses, and unto Aaron, and unto Miriam, come out, you three, unto the tabernacle of the congregation. And they three came out, and the Lord came down in the pillar of the cloud, stood in the door of the tabernacle, and called Aaron and Miriam, and they both came forth. And he said, hear now my words. If there be a prophet among you, I, the Lord, will make myself known unto him in a vision, and I will speak unto him in a dream. My servant Moses is not so, who is faithful in all mine house. So there's two things going on here. Yes, they're speaking out against the marriage of this Ethiopian woman, but there's also they're contesting the idea that he's a prophet, or who he says he is, right? So I'm not going to dive into that right now, right? Because it's going to take us off topic. But definitely, probably next week we could touch it. So I thank you for the question. We'll just leave it there for today. All right. This texter says, let's see, there's too many women around for men to stoop to raping a wife. Amen. And so that's the next question then. So if she's not willing to, lay down with him, right? No, we definitely don't want them to be raping his wife. Then what's the recourse? What recourse does he have? Because if we go out there, then that's adultery. And she get to keep the house. And so what's the recourse? Call you live here on Guardian Radio today.
Bastinas.
How you doing, man? Thanks for calling.
Wonderful. I know you don't want straight sexual rape. Also,
yeah, man. That's the topic today.
What you were just talking about a little while ago about Moses was black. You get many all through the Bible. You get Adam was black. You get You get the man who helped Jeremiah out of the dungeon. He was a black man.
Mm-hmm.
You got Solomon was a black man.
Mm-hmm.
But these things people will not speak about because why? They hidden these things from the people.
Yeah.
But that subject you're talking about today, you see, people have to be careful when they're going into marriage. It's a serious vow.
Yeah.
Don't look at that woman's backside. Don't look at her beauty, the color, or maybe she's a migrant skin or all of that, and stuff like that. You going to marry because why? You going to marry because you love this woman, you want a family, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where men get in problems and stuff like that. The sophisticated woman now, the way the world is changing, the sophisticated woman now, they only want a name to say, well, my name is Kemp, but they still keeping their maiden name, and they want to go by that. Don't the Bible say 7 women behold one man? Say, just...
Isaiah 4:1, and in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. Yes.
That's all. You see, they get all the good jobs and stuff like that. When they dealing with these president, the woman's president, vice president, and all that, you think they get time to say, he doing construction work, he coming home in the nighttime talking about he want to lay with her and stuff like that?
They ain't got time for that.
They ain't got time for that. And this is where we are going against the law of God. And this is the reason why the world is changing and the married family is deteriorating so bad and stuff like that because why? Everybody want to do their own thing.
I agree.
And stuff like that. A man getting married because he want a family. He get a woman. Of course, because he got up. He have to have sex.
Yes.
That's
They tell you.
right,
They tell you.
marriage.
They tell you wait until marriage, and then when you get married, he telling you.
You tell the man, the Bible, you just say, wait until you get married.
Right.
You get married, and it still is a problem.
Right.
You understand me? It still is a problem. You're milking the cow while you ain't married.
Mm-hmm.
Now you want the whole cow, so you could always milk it anytime.
Yes, exactly. Because milk got to stay in the fridge. Exactly.
You
But
understand?
Yeah, man.
You want the milk to stay in the fridge and stuff like that.
Yeah, man.
So you won't get to go there.
Come on
but
now.
you know something?
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe no government who maybe have the right thing in mind will pass this bill. If do and rape his wife or whatever, then take the man to court, take the mother to court.
Mhm.
And if you don't want this man, just depart from this man and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because woman were made for man. Man were made for woman.
Okay. Okay.
And this is the reason why God put that nature in man, that whenever he feel he need that urge, he want his woman.
Yeah.
And that's
I shouldn't be
That's
hard
it.
to understand, right? Thank you for calling, man. And then that's I'm laughing, not at the rape aspect of it, right? But I do understand where the caller and other texters are coming from, insofar as hey, what we can do? All right, I ain't raping you, but you deciding you ain't got time for that. What we doing? All right, let's run back to the phone lines here on Guardian Radio today. Caller, you live.
Hey.
Go ahead.
Yes,
man.
how you doing, buddy?
Hey, good, man. Thanks for calling.
Yeah. Question: If a man has a wife,
Mm-hmm.
the question is, if she is born of his bone, flesh of his flesh, right?
Mm.
Is it even possible for a man to rape his wife?
You're saying if she is born of his bone,
With
and
bone,
flesh of
flesh
his flesh.
of his flesh, and
Well, you
and,
have to-
and that
Right.
and that relationship is intact, right?
So he only could rape himself, is what you're saying.
Basically,
He raping
he is
himself.
working himself,
Mm-hmm.
and any guy who goes to that extent,
Mm-hmm.
that guy, he needs to be locked up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, because you see, I think the issue here in the rape,
What is it?
this is all about consent.
Mm.
But see,
Yeah, because well, legally they say it's irrevocable
but see,
consent.
but-
That's what they say in marriages, irrevocable consent.
But
That's
see,
why
but
I ask
this-
if women say, and I do to marital rape.
no, but you have to get the bigger picture.
Go ahead.
If you got to sign a consent form
Mm-hmm.
to have sex with your wife, right?
Right.
This is she agreed, right?
Mm-hmm.
It means that consent form applies to all relationships that are condoned by government, including same-sex. Okay?
Mm.
Now, the highest incidence of violence happens among same-sex couples.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this is the issue these guys trying to get across to.
You're saying there's a hidden agenda.
Same-sex, yeah. Same-sex stuff. They trying to find protection for persons in those same-sex things.
Mm.
And then correspondingly, they are trying to reduce the age of consent among younger persons.
Mm.
So it's an across the board issue, and regular marriage only excuse. But it don't even. I mean, if you rape your wife, normally she could go to the police station,
right,
and deal with you.
Yeah.
So this ain't.
See, I don't know how fellas do that and go to sleep, because I don't hear stories with hot oil and hot grits and you know what I mean. So I ain't condoning it, but I just say
see,
I don't know how fellas do that and go to sleep. I got
no,
some.
But see, it's such an emotional topic,
Yeah.
right? As long as you get somebody waked up, okay? As long as somebody can push your buttons.
Mm-hmm. So I hear you. What I'd like for you to do whenever this conversation come up again, right? We can have it again. I just want the evidence to show that this agenda exists outside of what the conversation is. If the same-sex agenda or whatever else you think it is, bring the evidence. Let's sort it out.
Yeah, but how to find out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is just get a copy of the bill
Mm-hmm.
and see whatever else.
Evidence, and there's what you're saying.
All right.
Thank you so much. This texter says, so if the woman no one give him none, I don't want him go out there, what she want him do? Sound like she want him suffer. Well, that's why I had to show with multiple wives. But, they definitely ain't ready for that conversation, right? You want us to be monogamous. You want us don't touch you when you don't want us to touch you. And I ain't saying I advocating for no rape. So don't put words in my mouth. But something got to give, right? Caller, you're live here on Garden Radio today.
Hey, where's it, dog?
Everything good, man. Thanks for calling.
Everything good, man. Look at this, Brother Wallace.
Yes, brother.
Listen, now you were saying that if the woman say yes to marital rape?
No. So listen to the question.
How you were saying it?
I said, is the woman saying I do to marital rape? See, because
right.
the
now,
system
that's
of
a tricky question, though.
Yeah, and I made it that way because
I know that. I was listening to that right out there before I call it. So I said, let me make sure.
Yeah, because
I hear what you're saying, because I don't think plenty people hear what you're saying.
No, I don't. I'm glad you called to slow down and so we could really see the patriarchal system is what we get married underneath. Mm-hmm.
I don't believe a woman said I do to marital rape.
Okay. Or knowingly did it, right?
Or knowingly did it.
Right.
Yes.
She's saying I do. And then realizing that, guess what? You are saying I do to marital rape. According to these people, they don't want to change this law. They're saying a man can rape his wife.
Okay. Now, what you said, when you say it like that now, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to put this to you now.
Good.
Watch this. Bible saying you are now husband and wife, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you are one flesh.
Mm-hmm.
So that means it ain't nothing to do with my flesh or her flesh.
Mm-hmm.
It have something to do with our flesh.
Mm-hmm.
So Scripture also said a man can't rape himself. So I was listening to this a little while, right? But I never would want to really get into it with certain people them.
Yeah.
Because I know certain people them, they ain't really spiritual minded.
Yeah.
See? And this is a deep thing.
Yeah, it is.
When you look at the people with pursuing this,
Mm-hmm.
ain't none of them know God.
Wow.
Dog.
That's some heavy claims, boy. I hear you, though. But go ahead.
Ain't none of them know God.
My Lord. But they vying to run the country, though.
I talking about the people them
Mm-hmm.
were trying to pursue this marital rape thing.
Mm.
This ain't got nothing to do with the government them now.
Mm-hmm.
This have something to do with that group of women them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they just call them.
Mm-hmm.
But and they don't really believe they don't believe in the way of God.
My Lord. So that's what you think the issue is?
Huh?
So that's what you really think the issue is?
Now back to the Mararan.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't think that I don't believe that you could rape your wife or rape your husband.
Okay.
See, some women, I believe, is because they don't understand their vow.
Mm.
They just
Supposed to keep it on top. Just keep it on top. Just let's go. Hey, let's go. You know what you signed up for. Let's go.
So, someone said earlier on to you on the show. They said that in sickness and
In health.
sickness and in death. That's what they say, right?
In sickness and in health.
Sickness and in health, right? But you could go a little further. It start off with in the good times and in the bad times.
But that's to stay married without enough sex.
No, that's concerning marriage. I mean, what you go through in life in your marriage, you go through it good times, you go through the bad times. You got to go through it
Right.
in sickness and in health. And until death do we part. See? Right? And I used to have little shows, but I don't think a man is go all out to say rape his wife.
No.
I don't think that.
No way.
Like the fella say, you know the struggle you'll have to go through to do that. And
Yeah.
the times you get that,
Yeah.
it
ain't worth it.
It ain't to be,
You ain't worth it.
you know.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I think these people need to just cease and leave that thing alone.
Well, they often them say they can deal with them if they get it.
Well, I mean, these political people, you know,
Yeah.
this is silly season, they'll say anything.
Yeah. I got some more
You know?
calls, though. I appreciate your call.
Yeah, okay, bro.
You know, that even brings in the issue of role play. You know, should you even be role playing? Because role play could get out of hand, you know, if handcuffs come out. Anyway, let's go back to the phone lines here on Garden Radio today. Caller, you live. Caller going once. All right, let's go to the next caller. Caller, you live here on Garden Radio today. Sorry I made you wait so long, caller. Go ahead. They calling back.
How you doing, Uncle?
Hey, my brother, how you doing, man? Antoine, are these women saying I do to marital rape? Is that what they're saying I do to?
They absolutely are.
My Lord.
But I don't, for me, I mean, just in line with your topic,
Yeah.
to my mind, there's no such thing existing in marriage as rape. Not based upon the vows, right?
Right.
And if the vows are supreme in the land that we're living in, then there's no such thing as rape. Now, there's such a thing as assault, right?
Okay.
Absolutely. You can assault your wife, but also, Uncle, you know, a couple of callers back. This thing has nothing to do with same-sex marriage because that doesn't exist in our country.
Right.
We don't recognize same-sex marriage in the Bahamas. We may have some of our leaders from time to time who give respect to some global practices, right? As we are living in a global village, in particular with tourism, right? But on the books of our country, there's no such thing as same-sex marriage.
Right, I agree.
And so no matter how persons in that community may try to intertwine the two topics,
Yeah, they can't.
there's no such thing.
Yeah.
Not legally, because it's not recognized.
But here's my thing. The marital vows, are they in the Bible?
Now, you're the Reverend.
I ain't find them. That's why I asking you. I ain't never find these vows. Yeah, I ain't trying to trick you, man. I can do it to you. I've not found these marital vows in any Bible that I've read, right? Now, someone may call and say, no, in this Bible, but, you know, I go.
Where these marital vows come from, Uncle?
Yeah, boy. Because people quoting it like it in the Bible. You know?
Uncle, let me ask you a question.
Go ahead, man.
Do you believe in marital rape?
I do believe that a man can rape outside of the legal definition of it, right? I do believe a man can rape. The difficulty, but by forcing sex on her, right? She's, I mean, and in the obvious way, right? Now the difficulty.
No, but that terminology can't just go as simple as that, because, you know, in a marriage, a woman is obligated, as is a man.
So I agree. 1 Corinthians 7. So 1 Corinthians 7 says that. Yes,
you're obligated.
Right.
And so how could you tell your husband no, or how could you tell your wife no? There's no such thing. There's no such thing where an obligation is concerned. An obligation is a commitment that you carry through, whether you're in the mood or not.
So if
an obligation is something that you do regardless of how you feel personally. That's what makes it an obligation.
So a man is obligated to provide for his family, yes?
Yes.
So if he don't have it,
Uh-huh.
then what? She should go to another man? She should what? Steal it?
No.
What's she supposed to do? Rob him?
What's
she supposed to do?
A man should have his act together.
But I'm just saying,
based upon what is required
listen,
of him.
Bill Gates got divorced, all right? So he had plenty of money. I ain't saying it was because he couldn't provide, but I'm just saying things come up, right? So so the idea that the man and the woman is obligated, right? A woman could be on a cycle. Scriptures say you're not supposed to have intercourse on your cycle, the book of Numbers. So even though she's obligated, there are circumstances that say, listen,
And there's
we
also
abstain.
reasoning between man and woman.
Okay.
There's
So
also reasoning.
so all I'm saying is that a woman could decide that she's not in the mood at that time.
Right.
And a man could
Now, don't-
force it, and I would call that rape. Me personally.
Don't get me wrong, Uncle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not one. Let me just clarify.
Right.
Listen now, if I'm not married, Uncle, right?
Right, I got you.
But if I were married, Uncle, and I want to get a little bit from my wife, right?
Right.
And she playing games, right?
That's the vow they don't tell you about. That's the vow. That's the vow you just read afterwards. In playing games or not playing games.
Uncle, listen. I had a family gathering recently, right?
Mm-hmm.
Amongst married couples, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
We were having this exact same conversation, right?
Right.
And we all know, including women, they know they weaponize sex, right?
Yep.
Because unfortunately, for men, women have more control over
Of course.
their desires.
They can,
than
that
man,
too. Mhm.
right? But as the scripture tells us, and as God rest his soul, Pastor Miles Monroe used to preach sex.
That's right.
So he used to tell his parishioners, don't come to, he used to tell the women parishioners, and he's put this in one of his messages, don't come to him crying about your husband wanting to have sex with you even in the church after you come off the altar in the choir. That's his thing. That's his thing. As a matter of fact, he used to tell them, I get the same disease. So don't come to me talking nonsense.
Amen. Yes.
That's the man thing.
Right.
And if the man is in need of it, right? Between two adults, you should be able to work that through.
See, Anton, that's why I advocate for more than one wife. That's just me. That's why,
Right.
you tired? All right, you come.
Listen,
but
listen, Uncle, the man of that era, right? And even the man beyond that era of multiple wives, right?
Yeah.
Because that's how the sweetheart thing, especially in the Bahamas,
Yeah.
right? They boy, like the women say they would not subject themselves to that era ever again, right? But they are up your homes, right?
Right.
Grammy them and madam know how to keep the home together.
And there was more under control than quote unquote. Yeah.
Huh?
They were more under
And
control.
even- and even take care of the outside children.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's long suffering.
Yes.
All that is called for in a marriage, Uncle?
Yes,
whether we want to acquiesce to it or not, it doesn't matter.
Mhm.
The reality is like you said, there are some things they don't tell you about before you get back.
Right.
So you gotta go through and experience.
My Lord.
And if you have the long suffering, then you endure. If you don't, then you move on. In most cases, illegitimately,
Wow.
because a lot of these people divorcing over frivolous matters.
That's a whole nother show. Yeah. Yeah.
Like the gentleman say who always talk about the family. Doctor, what is his name again? You want to just talk?
I didn't know his name. Sorry. I didn't.
But in any event, I think he's a doctor, right? A medical doctor.
Mhm.
And so there's some things like you acknowledge, Uncle, that you have to learn the hard way, except you go through the right counseling, which will prepare your mind properly for what is entailed in that marriage. Now, one like me, Uncle, I don't know if I cut it for marriage.
Don't sound so. I got to run to a break, though.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Peace be with you, Uncle.
Thank you, man. Appreciate the call. Are women saying I do to marital rape? That's the question. Keep it locked here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Fresh news, smart talk all day. Back after this.
One heart, one breath. one life from Jah. When we see that truth, love heal every scar.
We're ready for the road. This Saturday, April 11th, bring your flags, bring your pom-poms. Join the motorcade to the Fire Forward Rally. F&M Headquarters Freeport at 7:30 p.m. Time to save our country. Time to belt this fat PLP cat. We have the plan to restore the Magic City. We're ready to work for you. This is the moment. Show up, stand for NM. That's the motorcade to the Fire Forward Rally. This Saturday, April 11th.
It's back. Agri-Expo 2026, presented by the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources, April 10th through 12th at the Gladstone Road Agriculture Center. Agriculture, our heritage, our future, comes alive with the latest farming technologies, exciting cooking demonstrations and competitions, Bahamian farmers and vendors from across the islands, fun for the kids at the Kitty Corner, nightly musical concerts, and free admission for everyone. Bring the whole family and celebrate what feeds our nation. Agri-Expo 2026. Let's get growing.
At CFAL, we understand that a secure future is the greatest gift you can give your employees. That's why our tailor-made group pension solutions are designed to fit the needs of both large and small companies. With CFAL, you can provide the retirement you and your employees deserve, ensuring peace of mind and financial stability for years to come. Join the many businesses that have already entrusted CFAL to create the right pension plan for their employees, and let us help you build a brighter future for your team. Visit us at cfal.com to get started on building wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
CFAL is a proud sponsor of Team Bahamas for the 2026 Carifta Games.
All right, now the last people supposed to answer this, either their brain was freeze or a couple of screws was loose.
Not me, bro. I sharp. I get this.
Yeah, you sharp as a button, man.
All right, I can see just how sharp y'all is, because you skip a button on your shirt. Well, anyhow. All right, question is, it doesn't rust, no corrosion, it's lighter and stronger than it's supposed to.
I know this. I know, but it's steel?
Nope, wrong answer. Fiberglass rebar. Y'all ain't sharp.
I go on and say that no.
You don't even know what that means.
All right, here's what makes fiber rebar a no-brainer compared to steel. It don't rust. Steel rebar does rust and crack up your wall like biscuit. 2, fiber rebar is lighter than steel. Steel rebar is way more heavier, so that means it costs you more money and labor. And 3, coated steel is more expensive than fiber rebar. And with cheap steel, you still have to paint it. Still costs you money. For more information, call Art Heavy Equipment and Development today at 603-4506 or 822-9527. Fiber rebar is better than steel.
We're ready for the road. This Saturday, April 11th, bring your flags, bring your pom-poms. Join the motorcade to the Fire Forward Rally. F&M Headquarters Freeport at 7:30 p.m. Time to save our country. Time to belt this fat PLP cat. We have the plan to restore the Magic City. We're ready to work for you. This is the moment. Show up, stand firm. Vote F&M. That's the motorcade to the Fire Forward Rally. This Saturday, April 11th.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
When our soul lose sight, forget the light that live inside from birthright. Babies born pure, born connected, born whole.
And we're back here on Guardian Radio today. Your host, Dr. Cleveland W. Winnius III, also known as Kahun Anku Sarah. Phone lines open, text lines are open. This texter says, good afternoon, Anku. While I don't believe in rape in any form or fashion, but the way a man is psychologically, emotionally, and socially abused just from a word by a woman, we need to look at penalties for women who are found out to be lying. I agree with that. This is a weapon against their husbands, even if he just disagrees with her, and it's totally wrong. Texter, I 100% with you. There got to be a way to deal with this issue from both ends. There got to be penalties for women who do try to weaponize this idea of marital rape. Because women, y'all know y'all is do it. We didn't even have to have a show on that. All right? Women know they're capable of doing that. All right? Coming to the phone lines right now. Let me just get another couple of texts in. Good afternoon, Uncle. The Apostle Paul in 1 Corinthians. Defraud, in another translation, one another sexually. If a marital rape bill is necessary, then a sexual defraudment bill is a must as grounds for divorce, because we do not want husbands raping their wives. So just as one act of forced sex is rape, so too one act of sexual defraudment should be grounds for divorce. That's a good point, Dexter. That's a good point. And I'm having this conversation because this is what patriarchy does to us, right? Patriarchy puts us at odds against each other, right? Let's go back to the phone lines here on Guardian Radio today. Caller, you're live. Caller going once.
Hello.
Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, interesting topic. One of the things, I'm going to be very quick. I looked at the definition of the word rape.
Sure.
First thing that hit my attention, I'm going to read it just briefly. Rape is defined as an unlawful, non-consensual sexual penetration by force, right? Threat, or when the victim cannot consent due to intoxication, age, or disability.
Right.
Now, key words, unlawful. We're talking about, sex or forcible sex within marriage. Is marriage lawful?
Yeah.
So, if marriage is lawful and rape is defined as unlawful, okay? How then can I be lawfully achieving something that I'm supposed to be able to enjoy within the boundaries of marriage? Call it rape. And both of us have an understanding. I'm not talking about somebody who's, just abusive.
Right.
But let's say I want something, and the wife say, "Look, man, I ain't into this tonight.
I gotta get up early in the morning."
I had a rough day there because I work around a bunch of women, and I want to come home now and I want to deal with things, and I hot.
Right.
I had done for 3 or 4 days.
My Lord.
And ain't nothing wrong with you now.
Right.
You ain't sick.
No.
You ain't crazy. You ain't on no drugs at any time of the month. And you tell me, man, I ain't into that.
Again. Right.
Again. Now, who is therefore now unlawful?
So that's what the last text was just saying. The last text was saying, man, I should be able to that should be grounds for divorce. You holding out for a certain amount of time, that's grounds for divorce. That's what this text.
Yeah, and to be very honest, I think, we don't look at the severity of what we're actually committing ourselves to once we become married. Men are not creatures of thought in relation to how their bodies are dealt with. We're creatures of sight. We need to feel. A woman deals with emotions. Men are physical creatures. And if you telling me, and you ain't want me to go there and mess around, then the next thing
you're a dog.
But if I am in a position where both of us understood our vows, see, this is what's important. And I'm not talking about the one that a man had put together and says, until death do you part, because you ain't gonna never find that no place else, nowhere.
Right.
But our covenant, see, this is what we need to understand. There's a difference between a vow and a covenant. Marriage is a covenant, which requires a covenant is something more deeper than a vow. And if we understand that we are in a covenant and not just I could go to court right now and take a vow. Boom.
Right.
I don't have to be telling the truth. I don't have to be this, and I just take about, okay, whatever, I can tell the truth. Some people do it every day. But a covenant and a godly covenant is something that goes way beyond what we're thinking with our own carnal mind. So I truly believe, and I don't believe that a man can rape his wife. He can sexually assault his wife.
Okay, the distinction.
You understand me? He could sexually assault his wife. But in the terminology, and sometimes we need to go back in Scripture. And if we go back in Scripture and we hear and see some of the things that were done by some of the people that we hold in high esteem, who were lawfully in marriage, or what was considered married in the day. All that was considered married in the day was a man and a woman go lay with each other. They're now married.
Yeah.
According to the covenant. Okay? So the deeper question is this. See, I don't want to go too deep in this, but the deeper question is this. And if that was the covenant that God had with men, that you have somebody, you go and lay with them, and they now become your wife, your husband, then the deeper question is, how much of us then have multiple husbands and wives around you?
We get plenty wives and husbands. Thank you for calling. Thank you very much, caller. Phone lines are lit. Let's go right back to the phone lines. Call you live.
Yeah, blessed uncle. My words would be a few. I would say nothing new.
Yes, sir.
Unto you. But here's what I would do. You know, I've had the situation where I had the script get flipped, right?
Mm-hmm.
A friend, they wanted sex, and I was into that. I was like maybe sleepy or whatever, tired. They came from a party around Cambridge where I live, right?
Yeah.
So what happens? Now, vice versa, right? Even with a female, right? But see, what I'm not hearing, even though the gentleman, I like what he was saying, I agree with what he's saying up to a certain point. But for me, I didn't even like the word assault. Because the Bible talks about forced sex, right? But what I'm not hearing from the gentleman's side, or maybe females don't know this, in the portion of the Bible, I can't remember which part it is, maybe brief abstinence or celibacy, right? In which, for spiritual reasons, you understand what I'm saying, Angu? Because some of us, not me in particular, will perish in our self-righteousness. You understand me?
Yeah.
And so what I'm saying, Angu, the brother that called and talked about, I said, let me use juxtaposition quick. He said the Bible said you become as one. But, I mean, I don't know if he's meditated a lot, but I do, and still not enough. But I realize that God actually is meaning in a spiritual context.
Okay.
The flesh can't be one in physical flesh when you took the vaccine and your wife didn't, and you understand what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, my mind, you can't see. My mind is untrained. Yeah. My brain is not green. My membrane, listen to me, Anku. Having conversations is really for enlightenment, and so for me, forced rape will be better. But of course, women weaponize sex, especially when they know if you're drunk or incapacitated, when sex becomes more appealing. But abstinence makes it feel better, just like anything else. I don't know about man. I'm in my 60s. The more you abstain, the better it feels, especially if you like the person. But the thing is, we must all man up and realize it's like the Bible say, the truth will set you free, right, Uncle? But then in real talk, it can send you to jail. So we know he meant spiritually. Give thanks.
Yes, 52. Call you live. You're on Guardian Radio today.
Good day, good day. Great conversation that you have, and I feel like I'm the only people that called.
Yeah, I think so.
I wanted to let you know when you were saying the vows that they say during the weddings, better and worse, where they got that from the Bible is actually in the book of Ruth.
Okay,
it's not those exact words, but what she said to Boaz was, where you go, I will go, and where you lodge, I will lodge, and your people will be my people, and your God will be my God, and only death will part between you and I.
Okay.
And so that's where they got that from, and persons just made it a tradition.
Okay.
They kind of took from that scripture, and they but the message was the same.
Okay.
So I just wanted to let you know that's where it came from, biblically.
I appreciate
from
that.
the book of Ruth.
Book of Ruth. I can
now,
look
with
for it.
regards to the rape situation, I loved what your caller said. The one before this, rape is a sign of abuse.
Right.
And the reason why this law is important because what a lot of people don't realize, the persons who are getting raped, we have some persons in the marriage who are getting raped, but you have some women that are legally separated from their abusive husband.
Yeah.
And a lot of the husbands go back.
I think
and
it
they
gives
rape
weight
them.
to
And
that,
when they call
though.
the police,
Yeah.
the police will say, oh, well, y'all still married, so there's nothing that we can do.
Right.
So I do believe more context needs to be put in place with this legislation.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially when it comes to women who get separated, separate and apart from their husband, or go to the magistrate court and get the legal separation. We need to put some statutes in place to protect them because those are the ones who are the most vulnerable in these marriage rape scenarios.
Yeah.
And my last thing is, God has commanded the husband to love his wife as Christ loves the church. And Christ never forced anything on anybody. You could choose to be saved. You could choose to be saved and live like the devil, or you could choose and live like God, but guess what? Christ will still love you regardless. Not forcing anything on you.
These men
And
say,
that's why God made that requirement. So if the woman can submit to the man, which is the next line, she feels safe to submit to him fully because she knows he will love her as Christ loves the church.
Amen. I appreciate that.
Okay?
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
it.
Yes, ma'am. You can imagine Christ raping you into salvation. Anyway, let's go back to the phone lines. Call you live.
Hello.
How you doing, my brother?
I'm okay. Good afternoon to the nation. This is my first time calling.
Yeah, thank you, man.
And I agree with you. I love you. I agree with that lady just now, and I agree with the man before, the other man who called. Marital rape. Marital rape is a tricky situation.
It is. That's why. Before you finish, that's why I asked the question the way I asked it. Are women saying I do the marital rape? That's the question I was asking. But go ahead.
Well, I could put it like this: if you married to a woman and she really, really loves you, she ain't gonna never turn down sex with you. Anytime a woman could turn down sex with a man that she loves, that love is dead. Something going wrong.
Dad, you say dad. My Lord.
Dad.
She can't just have an off night. She can't be like, man, I can get you tomorrow.
Listen to me. That's different. See, off night just could be one time.
Okay, so you okay, but it can't be no 2 nights in a row. You gotta be.
So it can't be every time I need this. You have a problem. So
My
anytime your woman turning you down, she ain't submitting to you. Period.
My Lord.
So you can forget that marriage.
Just
Consider that marriage over.
Just that's it.
Because
My
let
Lord.
me tell you something. I've been with plenty girls, plenty, and I wasn't married, and they was giving me that for free.
For free. My
For
Lord.
free.
$3.99. Okay.
So that they talking about, but my wife turned me down and all. See, that's men who dense, who can't see between the lines.
My Lord.
If you know the anatomy of a woman, if a woman really cherish her man and really love her man, she ain't never turning down a man.
Never.
The only time she turn a man down is if her monthly on or she going through something.
Yeah.
Or she must be sick.
Right. So right now you're not married. That's what you're saying.
I divorced.
You divorced. Okay. So you've been married. Okay, I got you.
So that there what they talking about. Now, I have 2 to 3 women I go by right now and they ain't turning me down. And I ain't married.
Right.
So I know these people talking about, but as a woman get married, there's no such thing as marital rape. Either she like you or she don't. Period.
So you have a problem with the word rape itself? Because I think they may need to honestly remove the term rape and maybe put assault.
Let me show you something. My experience is this: if a woman ain't down with you, or something happened in the marriage, or whether the man get kicked out or something like that, he get drunk, whatever. He ain't got nobody to go. He go to his wife. That's different. See, that's when they basically assault them. Man will just assault their wife or them air. That don't work like that. There has to be something wrong in the marriage for that to happen. Period.
Okay.
Because if a man genuinely loves his wife and his wife genuinely submitting to him, there's no problem. None whatsoever.
Okay.
And that's a golden rule.
The golden
rule. Only when problems occur or when the husband did something wrong or if the husband cheated or if the husband... That's when the women start to get attitude and start to say, I ain't giving you none or I ain't giving you this or whatever the case would be.
Right.
But even then, that's before time because women tend to forgive plenty of men for cheating, you know.
Yep.
It's just that when the cheating get overboard and they get tired.
Yeah. And they get disrespectful.
So a lot of times, or they get disrespected, by the sweetheart or whatever.
Yeah.
But a lot of times, women is basically sticking with their marriage if they really love their husband.
I appreciate it, my brother. I appreciate it. Notice I listening today. I ain't retorting. I ain't coming back with nothing. I just listening. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, man, listen. Hearing this topic today, man, listen, I always want to get married, but right now, I married look like it'd be a trap, man.
That's why I asked the question. I say, are you saying I do the marital rape? Because technically they are.
Marriage is a lawful thing. So what you tell me, sex is not a part of that lawful act in your marriage?
Unwanted sex, they say, is not a part of it. They're saying unwanted sex.
Yeah, but when we look at it, I think the system is on to something because they head in a different direction. So unwanted sex is the part that is not lawful, and who's to determine that, you know? But if the system now say that we put in a law in place that where we're going to eliminate men from the equation, right? Because this is what is happening now.
Wow.
And then there is a party that is planning to implement the $200 thing for single females, right? So now you're adopting the U.S. style where they are weaponized anew to eliminate men from the home, fathers from the home.
But they saying now that the men can get the money too. That's what a caller said last show.
Yeah, but there got to be stipulation in place, which
Mhm.
means that you now have to be without a female. How much man leave woman? Man don't leave woman. All right.
I agree.
The same with marriage. Man don't leave marriage.
Not generally.
So let's say now they're gonna implement the marital rape thing. Then there has to be underlying stuff where prenuptial agreement have to be automatically a part of it, and a reason for out when a man he's truthfully can prove that he's being denied, any type of action, because that is going to make him be someone who's going to go out there and what they would call cheat and stuff like that when he's actually being punished in his home.
Yes.
And if they said that prostate cancer happened to men in their 40s and higher because the sexual action slows down. Lack of sex helps drive that up higher.
That's right.
And that's what happening to a lot of married men. So therefore, women outliving them.
Yeah. Keeping it
But
real.
there have to be a bigger conversation where you look into these things.
It has to
make sure
be.
that you're doing the right thing.
Yeah, it has
You
to
know?
be. Yeah.
And
yeah.
just not go along with your emotions and your feelings. Like, oh, yeah, women could get raped and women don't want it because of these reasons. What I do know, I had a married woman before. And she would come and give it to me before she go to work, before she go home, and homeboy don't get none.
My Lord.
You understand?
That's
so this
happening,
is the
yeah.
reality where we at right now.
Yeah.
If we trying to be real about this, it's
Wow.
two sides of the coin.
Appreciate your honesty. Yeah. Thank you.
All right, man.
Thank you so much. This text says, today the law is passed, marriage in the Bahamas will decrease by 80%. They are saying it because we are in a patriarch. If I have to force a woman to have sex, I don't need it from her. If it should not each other. It's about who controls power in the bed, those who want it in law. All right. This next texter says, trying to get you some of these texts. But if from a woman, a man doesn't understand women, and when we ain't in the mood or we're tired, we tired, especially when women going through perimenopause and menopause. I hear about this every day. Learn your woman. All right. This next texter says, the Joseph story in the Bible, the woman caused him to go to jail and possibly death in the Bahamas. This is a power play. Sweetheart will increase 100-fold if you turn down in marriage. Other than health reasons, it's over. There's so much more I want to get to, but I listened today. I really wanted to get a feel on where we are with this topic, and definitely we're going to have more discussion on it. I appreciate you texters, you callers, and of course, all of the listeners. Naughty and MJ is up next, the Talking Head, so make sure you keep it locked here on 96.9. Guardian Radio, Fresh News, Smart Talk all day. My name again is Dr. Cleveland W. Williams III, also known as Kahun, Anku Sarah, Namastu family. Keep it locked.
It's proof of what happens when we forget. But when we remember the light inside, love rise up. A miracle start again when we remember.